Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
My name is Trisha, and for 15 years, I've been a lead digital archivist at the Labyrinthine Institute, a place dedicated to preserving the world's most fragile historical documents and records. My team meticulously digitizes everything from ancient scrolls to crumbling 19th century census data, ensuring every byte of information is faithfully captured and safeguarded. We're the silent guardians of human memory, a role I take incredibly seriously. Then Jeffrey arrived. He was brought in as our new head of operations, a modernizer plucked from a logistics firm, utterly devoid of any understanding of archival science or the delicate nature of our work. His first major initiative was the Rapid Intake Protocol, or RIP, as my team privately called it. It was an automated script designed for compression and deduplication, meant to streamline our processing pipeline and, in Jeffrey's words, boost Q3 efficiency metrics. He made it mandatory for all new incoming digital assets, no exceptions. I, along with my senior colleague Polly, immediately saw the gaping flaws. We presented Jeffrey with detailed reports, case studies, and statistical probabilities demonstrating that RIP, while potentially fine for generic corporate PDFs, would utterly corrupt multi-layered historical scans, complex 3D models of artifacts, and intricate metadata structures. These weren't just files. They were irreplaceable fragments of human history, often with only one digital copy. Jeffrey, however, waved away our concerns with a dismissive hand gesture, quoting buzzwords about lean processes and synergistic workflows. He insisted his protocol was universally applicable and that any deviation would be considered insubordination. Our moment of truth arrived with the acquisition of the Eridu collection, an astonishing series of multispectral scans, high-resolution photographs, and 3D photogrammetry models of newly discovered Sumerian cuneiform tablets. This wasn't just data. It was a window into early civilization, priceless and unique. The lead archaeologist, Dr. Valerio, personally oversaw its delivery, emphasizing its unparalleled sensitivity. My heart sank. This collection was RIP's worst nightmare. I scheduled another meeting with Jeffrey, bringing Dr. Valerio along. We explained, in painstaking detail, why the RIP script would mangle the layered images, scramble the 3D models into pixelated mush, and render the invaluable annotations unusable. Jeffrey listened, or rather, endured with a patronizing smirk. He then pulled out his own Jeffrey Protocol manual, pointed to Section 3, subsection B, which stated, "All incoming digital assets, regardless of source or perceived complexity, shall be processed via the Rapid Intake Protocol within 24 hours of acquisition." He looked directly at me and said, "Trisha, I appreciate your passion, but rules are rules. We need to meet our Q3 targets." He then added, almost as an afterthought, "Don't deviate, not even slightly." "I'll be checking." I looked at Dr. Valerio, whose face had gone pale. I looked back at Jeffrey, whose eyes held a challenge. A plan solidified. I smiled, a tight, polite smile, and said, "Understood, Jeffrey. I'll ensure every step is followed precisely as outlined in the Jeffrey Protocol." My team looked at me like I'd lost my mind. I briefed them, explaining that we would document every single command, every warning, every timestamp. We would not, under any circumstances, deviate from Jeffrey's instructions. We started the process, applying the RIP to the Eridu collection. I personally initiated the compression script, watching the progress bar with a mix of dread and grim satisfaction. It was agonizingly slow, and as the script churned, error logs began to flash, warnings popping up about unsupported metadata structures and severe data integrity compromise. I took screenshots of every single one, dating and time-stamping them, just as I'd taken screenshots of my emails to Jeffrey and his dismissive replies. The next morning, the report was damning. The once vibrant, intricately layered images of the Sumerian tablets were now flat, distorted JPEGs. The 3D models were unrecognizable, a jagged mess of pixels. The metadata, linking linguistic analyses and archaeological context, was gone, replaced by gibberish. The Eridu collection, a treasure that had survived millennia, had been digitally annihilated in a single afternoon by Jeffrey's efficiency. Dr. Valerio exploded. The news reached the Institute's board, then the international archaeological community, like wildfire. There was outrage, an investigation, and immense public embarrassment for the Institute. The financial loss was staggering, not just in acquisition cost, but in reputational damage and the time lost in redigitizing, if it was even possible, as the physical tablets were already on their way to another facility. When Jeffrey inevitably confronted me, demanding to know what went wrong, I presented him with my meticulously compiled log. It detailed every warning I'd given, every email I'd sent, every screenshot of an error message, all ignored. And then, the final damning evidence, a log showing that the Eridu collection had been processed exactly according to Section 3, subsection B of his mandatory Jeffrey protocol. I had not deviated, not even slightly, just as he had commanded. He stood there, sputtering, trapped by his own words, his own rules. I could almost see the realization dawn on his face. He had destroyed invaluable history for the sake of a pointless metric, and he had made me, his most experienced archivist, the instrument of its demise, leaving him with no one to blame but himself. Jeffrey was reassigned, then quietly departed the Institute a few weeks later. The rapid intake protocol was, unsurprisingly, abolished. Some lessons, it seems, are best taught by catastrophic example.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.